You can do whatever you want, there's no one's gonna come before.
June 24th and 25th is the fire
You can bring it up at Pine and we'll be done.
What day do you want us?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Sunday. I believe it's Sunday morning, the 25th. It's good.
Okay. All right, I'll put that in tentative.
Okay, thank you.
How you doing?
Good. Send you something official, your battle scar.
Yeah, official, no, a reminder is always good.
Story on time. Huh? You're losing weight?
See that?
No, I just gained about 12 pounds.
Never mind.
Okay,
You just can't get to the refrigerator as fast.
you're right. So I carry 3 at a time.
I knew that before I even called it.
Probably knew that before I did.
Probably.
Yeah, he said, he messed with it.
What am I thinking? Hit me, wait a minute.
Or maybe a couple minutes later, you can adjust it out.
Get him.
So I had to go from
I got the text message today, I just forgot.
They're holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put a sign there, I bet you they pull that sign, you know what I mean? Let's put a sign in front of it, we'll see whose tree it is.
He said just carve it.
Here you go, Miss Debbie, thank you.
That's a good one.
Did you hear that, chief? You had a, remember, had a good idea. We're just gonna carve a haunted house sign into that tree and then somebody will come and hack it down and.
Bet you we'll see if it's on the right
Even if it's not, it'll come down.
I like it.
Sir Chairman, he's.
Very creative.
Yes.
Problems.
It says a sign, it doesn't say what it has to be made of.
of way. That's right. A lost logger down there.
Even from that.
It's not Interstate 80 going through here. And
Everybody get that?
and theory was
No.
big, bullet and bullet
That's
size.
for the chairman.
They're on sign like, they're on it for 3 weeks and they're gone.
I don't know what it is, I just want
For the
to.
chairman.
Yeah.
They're working on something.
The one on the second region was closer when I did that Twin City things, I made it nice and stuff. I think they went that little closer to the road than what it was originally. I said,
Yeah.
People here. And then they're going 8 feet, 10 feet on the road. That's 61, so I'm sure that's not a 80-foot.
Mark, do I need to bring this up, the extension?
Yeah, because he could do the other one.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's you and I talked about that.
Yeah, so that's gonna take some time to resolve.
So there is one minor thing under the break already?
Yeah.
They received one letter, Harvey, but I put it under zoning, so just bring it up.
Okay.
Please.
Awesome.
Hardly, not a lot of questions.
Hey, neighbor, what's going on?
How you doing?
Just go take
It's the only place you get to see all your neighbors.
I see you from a distance every morning about 5 a.m.
I don't even know Steve even live by me. No idea. Is the chief gonna be there?
Yeah.
Never know.
Besides,
Yeah?
Didn't say Simon Says.
You need them. You need a pair. I have one in the car.
There you go.
Order the April 2017 Ralpho Township Supervisors meeting. Stand for a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Garrett.
Here.
Supervisor Lexler. Supervisor Major.
Here.
Supervisor Daubert.
Here.
Supervisor Williams.
Here.
All present.
Okay, any citizens' input on agenda items? Okay, we'll move on to the bid openings for the paving and steel coat projects.
Our first bid is from New Hope Stone and Lime Company. Yes,
Who was that then?
New Hope Stone and Lime. It used to be Easter. There's gonna be next one. There you go. Let me go that item, please.
Okay, item number 1, milling bituminous pavement surface. Unit price $3.40, total $6,772.80. Item number 2, bituminous binder course, $125, unit price $52,500. Item number 3, wearing course, $93, $139,686. Total contract, $198,958.80. And they have a bond.
Next bid is HRI Incorporated.
Item number 1, $2.50, $4,980. Item number 2, $130, $54,600. Item number 3, $85, $127,670. Total bid, $187,250. I would assume they have a bond here.
Next vendor is Meckley's Limestone.
Item number 1, $4.20, $8,366.40. Item number 2, $121.50, $51,030. Item number 3, $78.50, $117,907. Total amount of the contract, $177,303.40.
Next vendor is Dave Catilius Excavating.
Item number 1, $5, $9,960. Item number 2, $101, $42,420. Item number 3, $77.50. Total is $116,405. Total bid of $168,785.
Next vendor is Robert C. Young.
Item number 1, $3.80, $7,569.60. Item number 2, $123.30, $51,786. Item number 3, $82.15, $123,389.30. Total bid, $182,774.90.
744.90?
It says $182,774.90.
What'd you guys get?
I got 740.
Me too.
They have typed on here 774.
It may not matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
The next one is M&J Excavation. I assume it's paving. If it's not, we'll move on to seal and chip and seal. Is it paving?
Yes.
Okay. M&J Excavation.
Item number 1, $3.01, $5,995.92. Item number 2, $106.85, $44,877. Item number 3, $91.57, $137,538.14. Total bid, $188,411.06.
That's it for paving.
Okay, everyone, I'll see you at Turkey Hill. Thanks for your time. Thank you for reading them right away. Good night.
We have 2 for the chip and seal. The first vendor is Hamaker East Limited.
Item number 1, $2.11, $179,980.89. That's the only difference. That's it, right?
That's the only item, yep.
So that was your total.
Yep, 179,980.89. The next and last vendor is Midland Asphalt Materials Incorporated.
Item number 1, $2.39.9, 2.399, for a total of $204,632.30.
That's all the vendors that have bid. Thank you. You want to see the totals?
Debbie, what was the budgeted amount for?
Oh, I should have brought that with me.
Did we just talk about that?
Just a sec.
348, 765.
I think it was 400 some thousand total we had.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
What,
Do you remember, Joe?
Yeah, it's in my email to Howard.
I know.
but,
320.
what account is it?
Let me see if I have it right here.
What is it? I have
It's
the
a
budget.
couple of them.
320.
I don't have it here. It's under chip and seal, or it's under oil and it's under paving. And then we also have some under general fund.
Highway maintenance. Nope. We had $140,000 in the general fund under repair and repave roads.
Yep.
Did you say there was oil too?
Then look under oil, which is like 438 maybe? 430 something, right? Yeah, right.
Oh,
You want to look in general fund, I think.
It's 428.
There we go, total.
65,205 for seal coat, 223, 358 for paving, and then general fund was 140,000 for additional work. So a total of 428.
428.
20.
Don't you
$223,358 in the version one of the, and you have 65,205. Is that what you have? 65,205, 223,358, and 140. I did add it together.
I think Danny already did that.
348, 765, is that right?
I'm not sure what.
Sorry.
She's not sure.
Shut up.
428,563.
Did I miss something?
Or you're doing the
That's
budget.
total, I've never reviewed budget.
What were the numbers?
428, what was it,
168?
428?
428,563 was budgeted total for all,
179
for oil and both roads. Roads and.
All right, so the two-
428,563?
Yeah, the two together come to 348, 765, 89. Yeah.
So we're well,
So we're well under.
just one more than we usually do.
I had a note that in the general fund, that 140,000 was in case you wanted to do Birchwood Drive, so Birchwood Drive isn't part of this as far as I can see, so that's why it was so much higher than what was bid. That's why the budget was so much higher than what was bid.
79, 234.
79, 34.
So we didn't even do Birchman as an alternate
I think,
for this.
if Howard were here, he could say, but I think he pulled back from that because he added so much to Chip and
To the
Seal.
shipyard.
We did Pine Avenue, Pearl, Luzerne, and Montauk.
Yeah, and then next year he wants to do Birchman and out here.
Mhm. I believe that's what he said
I
last
think
month
that's
at
the
the
plan.
meeting.
Yeah, I think on one of those, he wanted to try and tack on Northumberland.
Right, over behind OIP.
Right. That's, one or the other, I think the same,
What he's
as
doing.
the parking lot.
So we're under by how much?
79.
So if we were putting 140 away, we'd have to put, what, another
60,000.
60,000 extra next year. Then you'd get your Birchwood back to 140.
Yeah, I don't know what he was, I don't know, I'm trying here. Because I think it was Birchman a lot.
I'm getting phone calls on Reed Road. One of these at the industrial park out here. So we're gonna have 80 left, so it's a good start for next year.
Yeah, sure, you can, I don't know where. I mean, it's never been.
Howard, just to give you an update, we opened the bid, we're 80 under budget right now, based on the bids.
80 under.
80 under. And next year, your plan was, if we're all correct, to do Birchman out here?
For next year,
Yeah.
out here, Birchwood and Northumberland. Those are the three up front, but if you're gonna do this, obviously you're gonna line it out there. You're gonna do up to the recycling center. You're gonna do the front lot. So your, if memory serves me correctly, and I have the figures over in my office, I think we're probably right around 85,000 just for here. Now, that doesn't include Birchwood or Northumberland, but Northumberland's not that long.
So we'd have to probably budget another 200 for next year.
Just for your information, Dave Gutilius has the lowest bid so far.
Right into Mike as we're coming in.
And
Usually
Hammaker,
we're-
they haven't made a decision.
Usually
Pardon me,
we're
Danny?
around-
We didn't vote on it yet.
And Hammaker,
We
but
should
they
try to do
haven't
at least
voted.
100 and 100, I
Right,
think,
right,
or something like that, yeah.
And
But
how
in
we
other
make-
words, to get everything done once next year, we're
well,
probably.
it's assuming no tar and chip, are we gonna assume no, very little tar and chip next year?
Depends on the winter, you know, I would say minimal at best. I
Yeah.
can't tell you there won't be any,
Right,
but it'd be very minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, tar and chip came
15
in
and 20 or something like
Yeah.
that.
at 180 this year. So,
I think it's feasible to do it.
Yeah.
If you have to come up with 200 for next year, that's typically what we do anyway, so.
Yeah.
But just you can see, just to interject, you know, the more you do, the better rate you get. You can see here, just tonight's a prime example.
Yeah, Mike's been coming from it, that's like for the last 4 years now, so.
I saw him walking last meeting, because I don't even know why we did.
He was floating pretty high when we ran into him at the road adjusted.
My coach shop from Cotillion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any motion?
I'll make a motion to award the paving bid to the contractor Dave Utilius for $168,785, and the tar and chip bid to Hammaker East for a total of $179,980.89.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, consider minutes of the March 14th regular meeting.
Motion approved.
Second?
Motion probably moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Treasurer's report.
General fund balance as of April, I have the wrong date on there, March 30th? Is there 30 days in March? Yeah, I know, it's the wrong date. March 31st, 2017 is $530,634.23. State aid fund balance as of March 31st, $423,307.76.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Bills list.
Oh, good, I was gonna ask you, and I forgot to write my broken out. I opened that last
Don't
one.
worry, I'll find
I can't believe you said that.
Motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Correspondence.
Okay, PSAT's memorandum, 2017 proposed resolutions, bylaws changed, and nomination report was received. Lichty Engineering letter received to inform the township that Farnsworth Family Trust is applying for an NPDES permit for stormwater discharges associated with the construction activities for location at Penn Ave and Southview Drive. Next item was a letter was received from the County of Northumberland with an invitation to actively participate in the planning process for countywide hazard mitigation plan. I shared this with Mr. Lyash. I know he said he started to complete it, but it would, whatever you feel. I have one more item if you don't want to take action on that. It is.
Did we do it last year?
Yeah, and Howard and I went down to a meeting for it. It's basically an inventory of your assets, your potential problems in your township and your assets to deal with the problems. Doesn't take a long time to fill out, and it doesn't obligate us to anything. It just allows them to put in the information, does the fire company, can the fire company deal with X? Do you have this in your township? But then they'll send you information like, I guess, Chief, a year or two ago, they sent us the dam emergency preparedness.
Yes.
Because we have a dam in the township. So it's simple enough to do.
Make a motion, leave the code enforcement officer do whatever we need to do to get involved in that hazard mitigation plan.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say, I have one question. Where's this dam?
Watershed.
The watershed, I guess, that's barely in the township.
Correct.
Township.
Yeah, it's right on the line, so We have the whole emergency response plan for it, about that thick.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
One other item which I added to your packet today, Linda from CEDACOG sent us the application for preparation schedule for the fiscal year 2017 for the CDBG. So she is looking for a motion to go ahead with this calendar schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
That's all I have.
Planning Commission, Mr. Boyer.
Yes, nothing really to report from last meeting. We did have something on the agenda, but unfortunately, things have fallen apart for that plan. But as you see, there is a letter from the Rosemary Helfrich Revocable Trust. On behalf of our client, Rosemary Helfrich Revocable Trust, we hereby grant a time extension until July 11th for the review and approval of the above plan to resolve all comments. I'm sure they mean they're asking for a time extension, not granting a time extension. They didn't get one yet. So I'm sure that's what they mean. That's what they were instructed to do at the last meeting. So they are looking to have you extend their extension till July 11th of 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Go ahead, that's
motion
fine.
carries.
Okay. Just backing up there a little bit, Mr. Chairman. Mark, do we have anything, or Harv, on the Farnsworth thing that we just talked about, the letter that they sent us? Do we have any
We just got from Lickety Engineering,
preliminary plans or anything?
no, all we have is the NPDES permit request.
We did see a plan
Yeah.
2 years ago and had made comment on it from the planning commission, more or less a sketch plan.
And the sewer authority has seen that plan too, but it was a couple of years ago.
Yes, and although I think the plan looked well, we at the planning commission had 1 or 2 suggestions for that. Not that that would make a difference in the way it actually is drawn today. If they maintain that same drawing, I don't know, because we haven't seen the new plan.
So the letter seemed kind of odd to me. There was, I don't know, different, the way it read out, there's different areas that aren't being developed or something, I don't know.
Right, and that concerns me a little bit, plus I think there's a lot for dedication to the township as part of the stormwater plan. And I think what concerns me about it a little bit is all of the development is up towards the road, which means that there's plenty of land in the back to be developed. So I'm assuming from an engineering perspective, they're gonna have to make sure that any stormwater that they put up front, because everything comes down that mountain, is gonna have to be able to handle any further development further back. We've always talked about that.
Well, there is a, I think there is a, on the top, there is a drop the other
Yes.
way, but you're right, all the fields above there are gonna be coming down, just like we had with the mountain behind Andy Shuck's place years ago, when they wanted to develop the side of the mountain, and the people were along the road down below. It's like, water's not gonna run uphill from their houses, so.
So, but all we have on that is the NPDES.
Okay, I didn't know if we had any more than that.
With that question being raised, I guess I would have a question to the board. Where are we in regards to curbing and no curbing? Because that will be an issue with this development, I'm sure.
much easier.
Glad you asked, Mr. Kerstetters.
We're preparing some new ideas and plans.
And then what happens
Okay.
Yeah, the plan, Harvey, is to get the revisions to you guys for next month, to look over,
Okay.
and then kick it back to us, hopefully for adoption next month. But what we had decided at last month's meeting, after Mark and Howard and Justin and I met, was residential.
It's cold now, it's
I think, Mark, if I'm correct, leave it as is.
Right.
Ag Forest give them the option of her or swale, but
What's
only
the
for ag
zoning on
forest.
that?
It's all residential.
That's me.
But yeah, hopefully by next month's plan, you guys will have a copy of it, because there's a couple chapters we added, we did some revisions to let you guys look at it.
You're your father's son.
Right.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Boyer. Street Department, Mr. Woods.
the snow pile.
My turn already?
Also, made with face.
You see the report there, Howard was busy with the big 26-inch snowstorm we had, so that's all behind us. No worse for the wear, I guess you could say. Couple things I had put on the agenda, the 2004 International Dump Truck, which is the one that we put down over the bank, or the one that Wayne typically drives out there, and that's got some issues that are gonna be coming down the pike. I think we can skate by, but it might be something we need to look at for next year. And Howard, you're gonna get some sort of a rough ballpark number for us by budget time so that we could possibly
170,000.
budget in a new vehicle for next year. So, just keep that in the back of your heads, that it will be coming. We're thinking we're okay for this year yet, and then,
Yeah, just to give you a real brief, it's got a rear seal, engine seal leaking, which means the transmission would have to come out, which means as long as you got the transmission out, you're gonna put a clutch and pressure plate in it. Transfer case is leaking oil and just about rusted through. Transfer case is $14,000. Clutch pressure plate with labor and everything and the seal, you're looking at 6 to 8. Replaced the air tanks on it 2 years ago because they're rusted in. That's a 2004 truck. And we talked about this a couple of years ago. 10 years life expectancy on these trucks, and they start nickel and diming you pretty bad. I mean, we wash them, we steam them off, but it's inevitable. You're dealing with moisture, steel, and salt. And they don't build them like they used to either. So we would take the spreader off that truck if you decide you're going to replace it because it's only 2 years old. The plow is shot. The plow was on the old truck before this truck came. So I know that's not what you want to hear, but it is what it is.
was that 170 with the new plow, but not the spreader?
That's correct. And I'm using 170 figuring a year down the road.
So that's not assuming the trade on.
Right now, the truck, the way it sets, they're figuring, they're going on municipal right now for 25 to 30,000 with the plow and spreader. Spreader, you're looking at $25 to $3,000. So let's suppose you did it next year, you could probably deduct another $1,500 to $2,000 off that price. The good thing about the truck is it's got good eyeball yet. It looks good. Okay? It's got all the equipment on it, you know, that people are looking for. It's got a stainless steel box. The problem is underneath the carriage and everything and all the lines and tanks, it's rusting out.
So to answer your question, I guess you're looking at 170, probably 25 for a trade.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't give you that on a trade. I'd put it on municipal bid.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Get about 25 out of it. Something to keep in our minds for next year. Let's skip the tree on 54 and hit the Ford F-450 while we're on that. That's the vehicle we just put $15,000 in the last
Over the course of 30 months.
couple months. And at this point it needs,
Walked in the garage, oil pan rusted out. There's oil on the floor. So we're looking right around $25,000 to $3,000 to put an oil pan in it because the engine's got to come out. Now, you can say, well, let's sell it. The problem is there's oil underneath it and anybody comes looks at it, it's never going to buy it. So I know you don't want to put 25 or 3 in a truck, but again, I don't want to get a dead horse. This is a 2001 truck. You're buried in your truck. And, you know, we talked about it, Chip and I, and I think Steve and I touched on it. You spend 25 to 3 and use it for leaf collection only, because if you sell it, you're going to take a 2008 truck now. It's got 20,000 miles on it, and do coal patching and leaf collection for that truck, and it's leaf collection destroys the truck. It just destroys it.
The engine's gotta come out to change the oil pan.
Yep, because count all the cross members of four driving it. Talked to two places. I talked to Sunbury Motors and I talked to R.W. Moss. They both told me the same thing. Sunbury Motors was 3 to 35 and Moss was 25 to 3. And the way they both explained it to me, they said, look, this is a municipal truck. That's to pull the engine out, put a pressure plate or a oil pan gasket in it. You configure a dipstick tube because if the oil pan is rusted out, 9 times out of 10 the dipstick tube is. When you get the engine out, then you're going to probably be looking at transmission lines because they're going to be rusted out. So that's why they give you that space. Like I said, if you stuck it out right now in municipal bid, anybody comes and look at it, there's going to be a pile of oil under it. You wouldn't get anything out of it anyway, but you'd be getting even less now.
so we need some direction on what, if we want to have it fixed, or you wanna throw it on municipal bid or whatever.
I think we're foolish if we don't fix it.
I think
At this point, you know, I mean, at this point, we are. I mean, had we known then what we know now, maybe we would have made a different decision 30 months ago, but.
Yeah, but just, and again, just think about this now. Previously, we talked about a 2004 truck, a little bit ago. And so you really don't get a break. A pickup, you know, is coming along, that's gonna have 100,000 miles on it, that's a 2009. So I mean, 10 years is 10, 12 years is about the life expectancy on these trucks. Everybody's using more salt now. So,
Okay, I make a motion to fix the 450, get the oil pan fixed on it.
Okay.
Motion properly moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the tree on State Route 54. Todd, you were working on this a little bit with PennDOT and the whole legal aspect, whether or not, I went out and looked at it with Howard. It appears that the old road goes this way, new road goes this way, the tree's in the middle. They're claiming that it's on the old road right away. And if that's the case, they turned that over to us back in 1929. So, I don't know, Todd was looking in to see if we had records, he's been in contact with PennDOT, and we didn't go too far legal-wise yet, but you saw the nasty letter we got registered from PennDOT saying we had 30 days to research. But
I thought this thing I saw in our packet was the best news out there, because if I'm reading this correctly, here's, you know, the bottom is the old road that's been abandoned, and top is the new road. And the ash tree that they put on it is right in the middle, so I think their own document would lead you to believe that it's off the road. Now, you know, it kind of touches the very dotted line there on the other one, but.
well, it would have been in there right away.
Well, no, I think that should be the whole 33 feet on their map, I'm assuming. So, I think that's the old abandoned road. Follow that dotted line up. 'Cause it starts here.
Yeah, but if you look at 30 feet on there,
25 to 3.
is the right of way only 60 feet, 30 and 30?
It was 33 back in the old days.
Well, yeah, the old one, but I mean, what's the right of way of the highway now? Was 61?
Well, it looks like it goes from 80 on the right-hand side down to 60.
Looks like it's 40 or 40, so it'll be 80
On the far left, right? Or on the far right.
on the bottom of it.
But then in the middle, they have a 30 for some reason, then it goes back to 40. It conveniently drops to 30 right in the tree.
Either way, I mean, even if that 40 runs through there, if that big fat tree that looks like it's about 8 foot in diameter at scale on this print, it's still out of the 40-foot realm, no?
So what we're thinking at this point, well, that's your
It's like almost fixed.
So what we're saying, according to this map here, it's not in their right of way, right? Because you're saying dotted line is a full road with the right of way.
I'm just worried about the road they allegedly abandoned back to us.
Right.
Because if it's within the right of way, we don't care. It would have to be on our property within the right of way. So the only way it's our property is if they abandon that old road back to us and then we didn't vacate it. But it doesn't look to me like it's on that old road.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
And we're saying this is the old road with the right of way total width.
That's what, it's their map, it came from them. So,
Howard, we were looking at $800 to take it down, plus an additional what for flagger?
5 to 550 for flagger force and accept all liability and put all the correct signs up to meet PennDOT specs.
We went back to PennDOT, we asked them if they would provide the flagger for us to take it down. And they politely came back and said, no, that's why it's in the letter. Not so politely, but they came back and said, we're not gonna do that. So,
So you're in a corner.
so I think we ought to have Todd write them a letter and say, according to your drawing, this tree isn't on the old vacated road, nor on your right of way, so apparently it's a homeowner's, and we'll get in contact with them and have them take it down. Or whoever owns that piece. We'd have to go to the courthouse, I guess, and find out who owns it.
I don't think we need to go to the courthouse, I think they need to go to the courthouse.
Who? PennDOT?
No.
No, I don't care.
Why should we pay Todd to go down to the courthouse and see who the property is? It's not on ours from everything they provided. You did ask them for additional information, which they have never sent.
This is what it is. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I thought you said you asked them for,
Yeah, I asked him for, Mark or Howard got an email he couldn't open. Mark may have been able to open that and get that to me, but I asked that guy, give me the
Right.
same stuff. And he said he would, and I reminded him, I said, hey, I still didn't get it. I still haven't got it. But I didn't see, the stuff that we got in with this letter looks even better than what I got from Mark.
So we need to know who owns that if we don't own it because it's vacated and they don't own it because it's not in the right of way, then who owns that piece?
They originally went to the property owner,
Who did?
and I said, take the tree down. The property owner and an associate of his did the research and they're the ones who went back to PennDOT and said it's not his property.
So then we need to write a letter and tell PennDOT to go back to the homeowner because it's not our property. According to your maps that you provided, the tree is not in the vacated road, so.
I'm gonna go out Thursday morning with Howard to check this out, and, you know, apparently you can see where this road went through. Maybe we just take our measurement tape and see where 16.5 feet takes us, and hopefully.
You'll never be able to tell up there where that road is at. Not where the center's gonna be.
We're gonna take a very.
Come on, that's the pipe dream. We were up there, it's all covered with leaves, grass and everything else.
He told me over the phone.
What?
33 feet.
33 feet.
That's what it was back in the 1920s.
I mean, if you look at the scale, that's probably not halfway.
Yeah.
That whole width is 33 feet of that road going up there, but where they have the tree positioned on there, it's not on the road, it's not on the road.
Yeah, because back in 29, I'm sure there wasn't no 80-foot right-of-way like there is today. You know what I mean?
Like 33 feet tall.
Okay, let's go for it. I like, never mind.
So, do we want to have Todd respond to PennDOT and just say, according to your drawings that you sent us for the meeting, it's on private property and we can't take it down?
Yeah, just tell her, or just tell them it's not on our property. It's not on
it's up to them to figure out whose it is.
a road that used to be ours, so
Okay, got
they're
it,
not
Todd.
responsible.
Make it sound good,
I'll do my best.
throw it back on them. That's what they do to us all the time anyway, so. Throw it back and forth. They'll probably send us another registered letter. Don't sign it. Okay, that's all I have for the street department. You got anything else, Howard?
Just a few things. Moore Road, where it exits over to the State Highway Airport Road, there's a blind spot when you look up the hill exiting our road. Talked to Chief about it, talked to the homeowner that lives over there. We'd like to make that a one-way in that area only for safety concerns.
Which road?
Moore Road,
It's up off.
where it exits onto Airport Road.
So it's one way going.
It's
in
just
the
up
lane?
from the intersection with Reading Turnpike.
Over where Kenny Flory lives, Lane.
Yeah, but would it be one way going in towards,
What, you could come in from the PennDOT side, you just couldn't exit down onto PennDOT.
right?
But when you come in off of Blue Church down to Mike Moore's, you'd be okay, but you just couldn't go any further than Mike Moore's garage
So
down
you're
there.
just gonna have a do not enter sign at the end of that road saying you gotta turn around there or something, or what?
Yeah. Do not enter. We have one over here by the church off of Road Armel. Same situation.
Yeah, that has to be changed in ordinance. So we can put that in, make note when we change, because we're gonna look at changes right for the next month or two here, we're gonna have changes, so.
That come out on a dip or a knob or something, doesn't it there?
It comes out on a dip, but there's a bank, there's a PennDOT bank right there. And they're not gonna cut the bank back, and it's getting built up over there, and a couple homeowners have,
Is it their bank?
huh?
Is it their bank? It's PennDOT's
It's
bank.
their bank and our bank. The problem is you're down in the dip there. Even if they cut the bank back, when you come over the knob, Moore Road is right there.
Todd, send them a registered letter. Tell them they need to move their bank so that we don't have a site coming from our road.
Yeah, like I said, even if the bank was cut back,
30 days to respond.
It's not a good situation.
Okay, that's your recommendation from the chief and street department, I guess, so be it.
Do we need to get a,
No, we have to change it by ordinance, so we gotta put it in with the.
I'll do a motion to add that to the agenda.
We don't need a motion for that. Because we're gonna have to motion to advertise and all that kind of stuff.
We can catch up later if you want.
Huh?
We can catch up later and do that if you want.
Yeah. All right, anything, go ahead,
street
Howard.
sweeping will begin the last week of April. Going up and get the sweeper, and it'll be ongoing all week.
Did we paint today?
That's it?
Did we paint today?
Pardon me?
Did we paint today?
Yes, it's done.
Well, I don't know.
What's it look like? Good?
I don't know, I didn't see you, I haven't been home.
I didn't either. I forgot to swing by on the way through.
I did call him though, make sure he was there and done, and I called us over at the,
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, make sure they put the ones in the front red, but I forgot, so.
there is no red. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Okay, buildings, Mr. Dower. Gym floor moldings. I'm going to contact Mr. Brent Rhodes, see if he's interested in doing it. Does anybody else have any other suggestions on who would want to do it?
It's just that rubber stuff that you're gonna put it on the bottom, all the way around, just like the rubber black kick plate.
Does anybody have Brent Rhodes' number?
Oh, we're
I
good.
do.
I'll put it on your phone, Vince.
Okay, thank you.
There's still,
Is there anything on the tops that they can't hang on, or do we put something on the tops that they can't hang on?
I talked to.
I thought there was a molding that went around, but they said they don't need that because but they're not, they're screwed into the wall, they're lagged into the wall now. Every mat's lagged in, so I don't think we'll have a
There's no way
problem.
they're gonna be able to pull them.
There's no way to get behind it, pull it.
They're different, it's totally different
Yeah.
than the past, the sack kind of thing, right?
Well, that was all just glued, so as they came, kids
Yeah.
hung on it.
They are still working on a cover for the electrical box.
Okay, good.
Okay, that's all I have for that. Recreation, Mr. Williams.
I have nothing right now.
Matty,
About to have a lot.
I know. Mr. Wetzel's doing a great job, keep it up.
Thanks for all the help opening it up, by the way, over the weekend.
No problem.
the matting will arrive Monday morning at 6 o'clock, the 17th, which is this coming Monday. And weather permitting, I'll have it done by 11:30, 12 o'clock. Skid steer and 4 rakes.
Yeah, operator, for rates.
What are you doing that day? Now we're good. Mr. Lyash has got the keys for his, and he's all set to go, and I have them.
I think that could.
When's that coming out?
Football team used to help Howard, so they could hold the gym.
Your boot kicking around?
Sure. What'd you ask me?
Monday.
Yeah. It goes some better. You have the backhoe going on one side, you have the skid steer running it in with the track machine, you can be done in 3 hours.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, zoning, Mr. Major.
You can see Mark's report there, 10 permits issued for the month of March. Chip, I know you had asked for an update on some of the ongoing enforcement actions, so Mark, you have some information?
They're going down the list, Quarry Road, Howard and I drove past there, we were out there looking at something else. He is cleaning that up, he was actually out working on that. He's been cited twice in the past, he's on the payment plan, but he's got rid of vehicles, he's got rid of a boat, so he's continuing with the cleanup. Aspen Street, those were resubmitted, magistrate asked me to do them in a different format, chief had it done up, they should be served here. They may have been served already.
Is that the second batch or whatever?
That's actually the third batch. And then the other, Mountain Road, that's going backwards now. So he's gonna be cited. And Third Avenue, I did get a new address on the individual who owns that property, so I'm going to go up and pull the citations and issue new ones with the new address. I don't think it'll make a difference because the new address is in Florida. But he was going to rent the structure out. I think I was able to put a stop to that. I'm pretty sure, I was over 3 times, no one's there. The electricity is not on, and I did talk to the prospective tenant, who I think got the message and never moved in. So, but that, I don't expect those citations to be served no matter what I do.
Still for sale.
For sale sign is gone. The roof has been kind of laid back over the top of it. But Steve Belsky did offer to go with me and determine whether or not the structure was sound. Not necessary at this point, unless I see a tenant in there. So.
Pension of 10.
Okay.
The other thing, like you talked about last month, the updates to zoning and saldo, you also had Todd's update this afternoon. That's still pending. We just have to get the language worked out in the, in the revised ordinances to have those take effect. And then we'll work on the second batch. So we'll add the one-way street to our list. And the plan is to have it to the planning commission for their meeting next month. And the following week we'll look at it, hopefully go from there. Anything on that, Todd?
I think that's all there was.
That's all I have. Oh, I don't know what this Thomas Oliveri
We
is.
need to do that. That one is done, Justin is done with the Thomas Oliveri land development review, so we can give that money back, so I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to return the money to Thomas Oliveri.
Motion properly moved and seconded. On a question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Police Department, Mr. Madera.
Okay, during the month of March, the department answered 131 calls for assistance, including this. Total are 17 traffic accidents and 12 initial investigations with 11 criminal charges filed. There's 4,892 miles patrolled. Wow, I should have worn my glasses. During March, 37 traffic arrests and 22 warnings issued for motor vehicle violations. And as I think I made everybody aware, that the police department is now having a contest to see who could get injured the most or the least or whatever.
Who's winning?
Actually, I did get a confirmed discounted rate from Rapid Transit.
And his arm still works, so we're good. She's gonna be out in force. Do we have, you have anything, chief?
No, sir?
The card, we have that out on Municipal already? Or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
Will be for next month.
To work on, okay.
I promise.
All right. And then
What else were we putting on municipal? There was a couple other things.
And safety and another thing.
Giraffe ladder.
The lift.
Yeah, there you go. Traffic light.
Oh, we forgot about that. However, we did pick up the lift between last month's meeting.
Yeah, it's in the
It
report.
was in the bills list. Yeah.
Already paid,
And
already paid.
I'll turn over to Fire Chief Boyer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just a few things from the Leesburg Fire Department, just to bring to you. First, we got approached by a person out of Shamokin, Craig Rhodes. He was councilman chief out there, fire chief, about a project called the Tunnels to Towers Trailer Museum. And basically what we're looking at doing, the fire company did make a motion at our last meeting to kind of head this up. And we can reach out in a lot of different ways, but our feeling was to first try to see if we can keep it within Ralpho Township. In 2019, All Home Days and the Leesburg Fire Department celebrates 100 years. So we're going to kind of couple together, I believe, and work together on a lot of projects to hopefully boost our All Home Day celebration. And in conjunction with that, this Tunnel to Towers Museum is a 53-foot long tractor trailer dedicated to the 9/11. It is a cost of $12,000. That includes the transportation to and from wherever it is, but it also includes room and board for 1 or 2 FDNY retired firefighters to stay with it and give tours thereof. We have spoken with the Knights of Columbus, who looked at possibly helping us with this, but it's a large price tag to bring to the area. One of the things with this is we have a tremendous amount of interest from a lot of different entities. If this so happens to come and escort it into town and be part of it and things of that nature. It's a very solemn type of museum from what I understand. And it is, the Tunnels to Towers is a run that happens every year. It is in to rendition the run that a firefighter off-duty took when he grabbed his gear and ran through the tunnel of Lincoln Tunnel and went to the towers and died on that day. So the Tunnel to Towers is a run that happens every year, a run walk up in New York City. And this traveling memorial is labeled something to that effect, Tunnel to Towers Memorial. So we're coming to inform the township that we're looking to do this along with a few people from the Shamokin area who brought this to our attention, but also it would attract a lot of people to our area just to see it throughout the All Home Day celebration. We're looking at seeing if we can do it and keep it within Ralpho Township and sponsor it this way, but we can certainly reach out to other entities also.
Has it ever been in this area before?
It has not. It has not been in
The state
Pennsylvania.
of Pennsylvania.
It's never been in the state of Pennsylvania.
So there's a video about it. If you look online, Google it up, Tunnel to Towers Traveling Museum, and it goes through that whole thing. And I've been approached by motorcyclists already who said they would escort it in from around 80, other fire departments that would love to be part of that procession and bring that into town. It would probably be quite a scene. There's also been talk from some folks in town here who are very active in All Home Days, even having some smoke jumpers from 30,000 feet or whatever it is to celebrate the All Home Days 100th anniversary and such. So there's a lot being done on that line. Us as a fire department, we're just involved in this particular part of it. Any financial support from the township side would be gratefully appreciated, because $12,000 is quite an amount of money. But I think that's very doable with the organizations that would be involved. That is number one. Number two, I also want to bring, since it is April and my phone is already ringing with people with ideas for our haunted house, which is driving me crazy. But I wanted to bring it here tonight because it was an issue last year with the signs, and a resolution had to be passed, and there was some talk of getting 4 different locations in the township on the township side and having a rotating calendar for advertisements so that we wouldn't have this issue with PennDOT. And I was just curious to see if there was any action taken at the township level that issue will be addressed, or do we have to come and ask for a resolution in September?
No, I don't think that we've done anything. We don't have any, specific places picked out or anything. I guess we have a little bit of time to follow up on it, but, we have to contact.
I think that isn't that where we wanted to go and get 4 locations and then have that approved by PennDOT to have signs there that they want an issue, and then have them permanent locations that we could just mark could rotate through.
Because as of right now, I know that the fire department put 2 signs out, I believe, that were gone, one within one 24-hour period, and then there was Easter egg hunts that were gone. There may be others I don't know about, but I know the Magistrate Cole signs have been there for quite a long time, and that seems to be okay. But there you go. So it is an issue, and they're still enforcing it.
There's also one on Route 61 that is there all the time and hasn't been removed for a business. Specifically Brookside. It's there 24/7. So I'm not sure what criteria they're applying.
I guess if the township doesn't mind doing another resolution, that saves us anything, but it's a yearly thing then. And if you were considering for other entities to use areas, you almost have to have 4 dedicated locations that the township takes responsibility for.
I'm thinking, Mark, even if we put those 4 spots up, we still had to indemnify them or put them on our liability.
We have to go through the same process, but we would only have to go through it once.
Yes, the township, whether you adopt the resolution or whether you go ahead and do these 4 signs, they still want us to assume the liability for that location is the problem.
I think part of the discussion we had with the 4 locations, the permanent locations, was how do you then limit it to, we have some pretty stringent criteria to who could use those locations and.
That's the only thing that kind of concerns me, you know, it almost has to be, you know, solely the fire company or solely this or that, and then you say, well, if it's, you know, cancer bingo for somebody or whatever, how do you, you know, I go through that all the time with renting a home, you know, my thing is more important than somebody else's, so why can't I do it for nonprofit or whatever?
It has to be, there is some tele that indemnifies the location, it can't be, if the fire company can't indemnify that location, it has to be.
No, their decision could only be the municipality with the deeper
We
pipes.
got the okay from property owners and put them way off the right of way, and they were already moved from there, but like we said, the political signs, nah, that's okay. Might piss off the politicians, you know what I mean?
Well, in light of the discussion we're having as far as doing permanent locations and not knowing how to decide who goes on it, when, and whatever, I'd say the resolution is probably the best way to go at this point.
Yeah.
It's liability either way is what they're getting
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Also, I just very briefly wanted to update you. The fire department, as you know, purchased that new piece of equipment. And very happy to say that we have reduced that debt tremendously with thankfulness to our local community and also all of our members of our fire department auxiliary who've raised funds the past 3 years. So the liability, I know that was asked when we were looking at the loan, the liability has been greatly reduced and much more comfortable with that. But also I wanted to mention with that new piece of equipment came a lot of new equipment, new hose and stuff that we did training on and weren't 100% sure we were happy with what we were seeing result-wise in just our training scenarios. So on April 1st, we took the rig out of service and Overlook came with us. We went up to Luzerne County Community College